For almost 24 years, I've been doing massage and reflexology and energy work, and a little over 6 years ago, I acquired my PMT 100, my PEMF machine, and my life has changed ever since. And it's been phenomenal. And I've seen, not just with myself, but my clients, some remarkable, miraculous healings. For myself, for instance, I increased my bone mass 24% the first 8 months I had the machine. I have more than twice as much hair on my head. It helped with rosacea that I had on my face. I had really, really bad arthritis in my fingers, to where if I just did a little bit of pressure on my fingertips from doing massage and reflexology for so many years, that it was just very, very painful. And I'm like, what am I going to do for a career? I mean, I'm not going to go back to school. I'm already in my 50s. And got this machine, and it took care of the arthritis. I can do massage if I want. And so that allowed me to continue with my career. And then now, more and more of my clients started doing the PEMF, and I've helped people with Tourettes Syndrome, for instance. Just recently, I had a client that after the 8th treatment, she decided, I'm going to buy a machine, because she said, she's got her life back. She said, Michelle, you gave me my life back. She's 69 years old. She's had Tourette's Syndrome since she was 6 years old. And she just couldn't even leave her house, because she would have all this anxiety and depression, and it would trigger the Tourette's, and it was really, really severe. And it was just the first session, for instance, when I worked on her, it was at least half her tics were diminished, and her depression was gone, and her anxiety was lessened. And after 12 sessions, because she got her machine after I had treated her 10 times, and then she finally got her own machine. And after the 12th session, she called me up. She was down to 1 tic. I've got another gentleman who had really bad COPD. He was in his 70s. He was a fireman, and back in those days, they didn't wear a mask when they went in to fight the fires. Plus, he smoked, worked in the mills. And he eventually bought a machine from me, because it helped him. His coughing stopped after the first treatment, never came back. He had numbness in his hands. The doctor said, there's nothing we can do about it. 2 treatments later, the numbness is gone. He's never had a problem with that since. The edema in his legs went away. His blood pressure improved. He also, when I had treated him, it was in September. And the previous May, he had a CT scan done on his lungs and his liver, and it showed that he had a nodule on one on each lung lobe, and he had lesions on his liver. Well, after I'm trying to think how many sessions he had. He was coming to me almost every day, so pretty sure he had 20 sessions by that point. He had to go in for another CT scan, because the doctors said that this is an aggressive nodules that are growing. Well, one nodule was all gone. The other one was almost gone, and there were no lesions on his liver. He bought a machine. And a year later, because I told him, I said, you're not going to see results immediately, 100% the optimal amount of healing. It may be a year from now, maybe over a year from now. You're going to keep seeing improvements. And he called me a year later, and he said, Michelle, I passed my breathing test. He's got to walk real briskly, and then they check his breathing. And he said he passed it. And he hadn't done that in years. It's been, whatever. And he also was suffering from an enlarged prostate. And that took 9 months for that to where he totally empties his bladder. This is fun. I've had several clients with that issue that has helped them with that. So anyone with enlarged prostate and prostatitis, it's very helpful.